Jai Ma Kali, Jai Kal Bhairav. I want to talk about Ishta Devatas. There's a lot being said about Ishta Devatas in different places. And a lot of people have this question, should I do this mantra? Should I do that thing? Should I do this thing? That is all of these questions, all of these doubts come because you don't understand your Ishta Devata. And first, let's talk about what is an Ishta Devata. Does such a thing exist? Sort of yes and no. Your real Ishta Devata, you don't choose. Right? You might choose to start with something, but it'll end up something else. So Ishta Devata is in a way predetermined by the practices you've done in your earlier life, your ancestral practice, and your karmas. And at the same time, the Ishta Devata you're trying to approach should also give you permission to make them your Ishta Devata. It is a love affair two-way. So you choosing one Devata and saying Ishta Devata, it's fine as a beginning, but unless you have involved in some practices with that Devatas mantras and meditation dhyanams, and have some experiences with that Devata, it is just an idea at that point. Let me say that again. Till you have done at least a few months, at least bare minimum few months of practice, which is having at least taken the name nama mantras, the name mantra, just the name, or stotra stutis, some kind of sadhana, dhyana, meditation, and following that having some kind of experience, not just made up stuff that this happened to me and this, that coincidence sounds like that. That's not how. When the divine message comes, it'll be very clear. It won't be a sound or a voice or a figure that's coming in front of you. It'll be much more realistic based on where you are in your spiritual practice. So Ishta Devata in his real form, first of all, the Devata chooses you to make them Ishta Devata, if I can explain it that way. And many other cases, people brought up in certain families and environments follow certain deities. Like some people, it's Sri Krishna, so they follow Sri Krishna. Some people is in Bengal and other parts, it's Ma Durga, Ma Kali, and so on, Sri Ramji, Hanumanji, and so on. But the thing is that is good as a base, but that's not the whole thing. So even if you take somebody like Sri Krishna, most people associate Sri Krishna with the young boy form who was cute and he was adorable, and somewhat his involvement in the Mahabharata, with his involvement in the war and Bhagavad Gita. People don't really look at the warrior side, king side of Sri Krishna. Very rarely they actually go into that angle. People don't meditate upon that form of Sri Krishna. In Tantra, is a well-known fact that Sri Krishna is Ma Kali's form. Ma Kali is Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna, Krishna Rupini. That's what in Kali Ma Sahasranama says. Sri Krishna used to meditate and do sadhana upon Ma Kali. He was meditating on Ma Kali, and he is a form of Ma Kali. That's a story for another day. You take Hanumanji. People think Hanumanji has just one form, that is Ramadut, and he's obviously an unbelievable sadhak and unbelievable devotee. But Hanumanji has another side, which is his main side, which is a warrior side. He's fearless, he's a warrior, and all the things he has done, he has been a warrior. And at the same time, Hanumanji is also Ma Kali. When he went down to, there are lots of stories which are giving you clues how to figure this out. He has gone into the Murti of Ma Kali to kill one of the Asuras to help Sri Ram and Lakshman. That's another story I'll explain one day. So he's also Ma Kali. Sri Ram energy, Ma Tara is Sri Ram's energy. Rama Shaktiye Namaha, that is, Ma Tara is one of the names in one of Ashtotra Shatanam Stotra, one of 8 names. So if you look at all of that, you have to understand all the stories have so many layers. Sitama is Ma Kali, not just in the word of it. She took the form of Ma Kali to kill Sahasra Ravan, of 1,000-headed Ravan, which one day I'll explain a story, detail a story. So there are layers to that, and you might feel that one form of deity, like one form of Krishna or Ma Kali, Ma Durga you like, but then it is up to you to explore that. That is what Sanatana Dharma is all about. It is not one-sided. Most people take it very one-sided because they are too lazy to explore more into it. Spiritual practice, the fundamental part of spiritual practice is Gyan and Vairagyam. Gyan is the knowledge that you start with and the knowledge you gain as you move along the path. And this Vairagyam is dispassion that you get while you move along the path and cutting off the things that takes you away from your goal. That's what this is all about. This is not just becoming a monk and going to sitting in Himalayas. It's more than that. It is more than that. So if you want to know who your Ishta is, you have to do the work. I went and explored who my Kuladevi is, who my Ishta is. I had done a lot of practice, and then I know a lot of people have done that practice. If you want to bake the perfect cake, you have to go find the right ingredients. If you from the Indian descent, all of you has a Kuladevi. If you don't know your Kuladevi, a lot of your practices are not going to work, and generally people will be unhappy no matter what they have if they don't know the Kuladevi. Then you need to go investigate. You need to go investigate no matter what people say. You have to go investigate who your Kuladevi is. And that is the important part of it. Right? You have to know who your Kuladevi is. If you don't have a Kuladevi, you need to go explore it. If you only know Ganapati stotrams, you start with Mahaganapati. Ganapati means he's the leader of the Ganas. Ganas means the army. So that means the devatas are also standing behind them. He's a leader of that too. He's a Mooladhara Vasini. He also is the Mooladhara Chakra. So you can start with a simple Ganapati stotram. You can start with a simple, Mahadev Upasana. All that you have to go explore it. All people think online is you just get a mantra and just do it. It does not work like that. Just because you have something doesn't mean it'll work. You have to go through the path. You have to learn the alphabets to figure out who your Ishta is. There is no easy way unless you meet a very enlightened soul who will look at you and say, this was your last life, these are things you did in your last life, and this is the deity you should pay. Take this mantra, there you go. It does not happen, 0.1%. And that, if it has to happen, your Ishta Devata has to will it to happen. And that rarely will happen to 99.9% of the people, because most people are ignorant. This is a problem with the people in Sanatana Dharma. We understand, we have Vedas and Shastras and stories and everything aligned. We have mantras. We have people like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa who have shown us how to do it. We still don't know the details of anything. We just don't know details of anything, and we do whatever we want, and then we complain. We don't have peace. Which mantra should I chant? It is not about the mantra or the stotra. It is to hold on to one single thing, and run through it as much as you can, as long as you can, and see where that ends up, and keeping your mind open. It is not blind belief. All the acharyas, all the maharishis have shown us, it is not blind belief. They went through the practice. They did the push-ups to make the muscle. Most people want other people to work out and eat for them so they can have the muscle. You know what I mean? They want to be healthy by making other people work out. You have to go and explore this. If you are actually curious of how this all works out, if you don't even think it's real, even if you think most of these things are not real, and you are curious, you still need to go figure it out. You still need to go do the work that needs to be done to figure this out. It is not a simple mantra or a stotra. It is not feeling this and feeling that. All that will happen once you start the path. So if you don't know your Ishta, you're doing random stuff, you're doing this, you're doing that, it's inconsistent practice, does not matter. The number one thing is understand what I need to do and keep it as simple as possible. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, you're going to take one shloka, one sutra. It could be the Gayatri mantra, it could be any of those things. Go bare minimum, go just do the basic ones, but do it for 21 days, for example, and at the right time and the same practice, and then explore the next one. You have to experiment for a couple of months to get somewhere, to even identify somewhat of who your Ishta Devata is. Ishta Devata is who you feel connected to, and they are drawing you to them. That's the main part. It's not just who you feel, because human beings are very fickle. We feel different things. Once you feel you have a connection with somebody, i.e., you think you have an Ishta Devata, if the Ishta Devata will respond as long as you're doing the practice, and respond in the sense it'll put together the coincidences that you never thought will happen. You will end up in a place, or you randomly travel to a place where there will be temples of Ishta Devata or sadhaks or devotees of Ishta Devata, and you end up meeting a guru, random. Those things are willed by your Ishta Devata. They will it. And all these things will come. It's not coincidence. They want it to happen. But for that to happen, first you have to start some practice. And then you kind of figure out who you like, and then you go forward. Understand that every form of any deity has what you see in the regular world. There are many, many more layers to them. And in those layers is the power they have. Not the normal one that we see. Like the Ganpati that we see is the one that eats a lot of, what's that thing? Modak. That's not just a Ganpati. Ganpati is a warrior too. He's Ganapati. Multiple arms. He's big. He's strong. So there are levels to this thing, and you need to go explore. And this is how you know you found your Ishta Devata. Like I said, the Ishta Devata responds by giving you situations, coincidental situation which you think is coincidence, that will help you go deeper into the sadhana or upasana of that devata. And those things can happen in a few weeks' time, few months' time, sometimes 1-2 years. It depends on your karmas. But you got to start somewhere. And there are clues everywhere. Now, if you have no idea what to do, there are clues everywhere. You know, someone like Hanumanji is a Chiranjeevi. He exists very close to the earth plane. Same thing with Bhairava. So if you're inclined to some aspect of Hanumanji, he's not just the Bhakta Sri Ram. He is extremely close to the Devi. This is what most people miss. Hanumanji is part of a lot of the scenarios where Devi was present, whether that's in Durga form or Kali form. When Sita Ma took the form of Mahakali to kill Sahasraravan, okay, she stood on the shoulders of Panchamukhi Hanuman, 5-headed Hanumanji. He was always there, very close to Ma. So if you are inclined to Shakti sadhana, then you can start a little bit with Hanumanji. Okay, you can do the thing, experiment. It says in Hanuman Chalisa, whoever chants Hanuman Chalisa 100 times will be released from all bondages. So why don't you start, if you have the guts to do it, 7 hours, it takes 7-8 hours, 7 hours non-stop, sit and do Hanuman Chalisa. If that's not possible, take a 21-day sadhana, 11-day sadhana where you complete 100 times. Experiment with that. Or follow someone like Rajshri Nandi who will tell you about basic Bhairav sadhana. Do that and explore. There's so many things you can explore to figure out. Hanumanji and Bhairava and Ganpati, Mahaganpati are great deities to help you take it to the next level. They are either your Ishta or they will show you the way. I guarantee they show you the way if you're sincere about it. But then you have to do the push-ups. No one else is going to do it for you. Nothing's going to be easy. Chanting 10 different mantras, 10 different shlokas, because you heard this, you heard that. It's doing a lot of things, and you're not consistent with it. You don't. The most important part of any mantra or shloka or shastranam is the bhava of it, meaning intent. Part of bhava is intention of why you're doing it, but at the same time, the feeling you have when you do it. It does not mean that if the whole shloka is 20 minutes long, the whole 20 minutes you are in utmost devotion, but you want to do it. Even if you're not that focused, you still want to make sure you're doing it the right way, and you're singing this hymn to your Ishta Devata. You're singing a song to your Ishta Devata. That's how you know you have a connection. Because you don't mind even if you don't feel like it, but you want to sing this song. You want to sing this hymn, this stotra to your Ishta Devata. You want to sit in front of your Ishta Devata. That's bhava. That's how you know you have something going on. And that cannot be faked. Okay, so the three deities you can clearly go to help you: Mahaganpati, Hanumanji, Bhairav Baba. If you have no clue of Kuldevi, nothing. You start your practice with them with the intention of finding out your Kuldevi or finding out your spiritual path. That's it. And with that, everything opens up. Jnana and Vairagya, knowledge and dispassion comes about. And then fearlessness comes about. And that is the foundation of any spiritual practice. This is not foo-foo. This is not imagination made up. It's not just faith. This is what you understand. Faith is just blindly doing something and hoping it works out. This is not faith. Sanatana Dharma is not faith. It is based on processes and systems that has worked for time immemorial, and it's your job to figure out what works for you and figure it out. If anybody says none of this works, it's all, superstition, challenge those people to go sit in Kashi, Manikarnika Ghat, or any cremation ground, meaning Hindu cremation ground. Sit there at 12 o'clock, after 12 o'clock, in a mat, close their eyes and sit down there. Or sit with some agoris at night when they're doing sadhana. They will not do it. None of the people who say will not do it because they don't have the courage, because they're just talking. If they truly believe no God exists, they have to understand there also no evil exists. So don't listen to the naysayers. It's your job to go figure it out. Once you walk this path, eventually, if you have the determination, eventually you will open up many doors, and that will lead you to many other doors. To find the right guru, you need to be an eligible student. A real guru comes also when you're looking around for him, but the real guru comes to give you the right guidance when you're eligible for it. You can't lift 100 kilos. And if you've never lifted, you have to start with 5 kilos. And this is about the lifting 5-10 kilos first. So finding out your Ishta is extremely important. Finding out the deity you're connected to is extremely important. But whoever you have access to, so to speak, understand there are layers to that energy. Whoever it is, there are many, many layers to that deity. Don't just look at the commercial front end of any of the deities. Go dig deeper, figure out more, and see how much you can move ahead. Jai Kal Bhairav, Jai Ma Kali.